Today on the program, one day in the life of a director of a group of companies, producer and writer. Is it possible to have time for everything if you run all these businesses? There was a time when many Kazakhstan people's morning began with Viktor Eliseev, a show presenter of a popular morning show. Today his morning begins with a family breakfast as usual. So let's have breakfast, children. Today we have it without mom because she has left for treatment to Korea with her mother, and that's why we will eat together. The wife of a businessman now is left. Therefore, besides his fixed work schedule, he has to have time for his daily routine of his children and not to miss anything. Besides that, these young men study well at kindergarten. They also go to sport. Mark goes swimming and Eliseev plays tennis. What kind of sport do you like more, tennis or swimming? I like swimming. I like tennis. Why, Mark? Because it's better. It's time to go to work, but the car is taking the kids to kindergarten and Victor decides to make profit from it. Wonderful morning to ride a bike. It is my old dream to get to work by bike. Today I've decided to make it real together with you. Let's see what will come from it.
In
modern life, the real problem is a lack of time for us and the disability to relax. My own ideal rest is when I am at one with myself, and if I manage to combine it with morning jogging or riding a bike, my whole day will then be successful without any doubt. While Victor is changing his clothes, we begin a story of his life. As early as at school, he showed his position of an active life. On one hand, he was among heads of the pioneer organization, and on the other hand, was very entrepreneurial.
Пытался совмещать общественную нагрузку с возможностью зарабатывания денег. Тогда появились первые
I tried to combine my public works with making money. There was time when different entertainment programs just appeared. We used to conduct Field of Miracles, or 5 to 5 at school. We even tried to earn money on that. Later we created a little cooperative, we called it NBS. We sold photos of celebrities, 15 kopeykas, within this cooperative.
В видеосалонах тогда еще, и продавали фотографии по 15 копеек, как сейчас помню.
The end came very unexpectedly. My teacher caught me and said that I was making speculation. I didn't understand the meaning of that word, but it sounded scary. Then my business activities in senior class, and we finished on that.
Я не понимал значение этого слова, но звучало страшно. Тогда коммерческая деятельность именно вот в средних классах моя закончилась.
And we're back to today's life of Victor in his everyday care.
Каждый рабочий день у меня начинается с проверки почты. В среднем в день мне приходит от 100 до 150 сообщений. Почту я проверяю 2 раза в день. Это такое мое золотое правило.
Every working day I begin by checking my email. I approximately receive 100 to 150 mails a day. That's why I check it twice. It is my golden rule. When I come to work, I am met by inspirations that are hanging on the wall. And you can see 3 happy smiling 4 eyes. Each of these characters has its own place in my life. They're painted by the famous Kazakh painter Serik Buksikov, whom I know very well and love his art. For many people who enter this room, these pictures are like emotional moods for future negotiations.
Гостей этого кабинета данные картины являются неким эмоциональным окрасом для дальнейших переговоров.
The creative nature of the head of a creative holding is not only shown in the portraits on the walls of the office, but also in the manner of negotiation and leadership style. In spite of his parents who insisted on getting an economical education, he was always attracted by another thing.
Первое место моей работы – это газета «Дружные ребята». Было такое издание.
My first working place was the newspaper Friendly Guys. It was a weekly youth newspaper in Kazakhstan. What is it best remembered for? I remember my first business trip abroad as a youth correspondent. It was a trip to Poland to study the life of Polish scouts. Of course, my life was absolutely changed. Being in Europe for the first time, I had seen another style of life, and level, and other rules and different values, and all of those affected my life formations very much.
Оказавшись в Европе, я увидел другой образ жизни, другие правила, другие ценности.
One cannot be born as a head, one can become a head. Today, leading a large group of companies in the field of business communications, media, and advertising, Victor should have time to solve a large number of organizational issues. And while he is in a meeting, we go back to the first topic, youth newspaper.
Газета Next на заре миллениума.
In my opinion, it was the first tabloid in our country. I believe that the newspaper Next became the brightest and loudest project in the history of development of national journalism at the early millennium. I think I was lucky to work with people who asserted a big influence over me in my life path formation. I am proud and happy about that experience, and I am still sure that it was the brightest and highly charged period in my life. At the same time, Victor became known to a wide range of Kazakhs as a presenter of a number of programs, some of which were his author's projects. Just when he got his first experience in TV producing. Today, the name of the producer, Victor Eliseev, is associated with large and sensational Kazakhstani TV projects.
Алматинский метрополитен стал для нас съемочным павильоном. Несколько лет назад мы запустили на территории...
The Almaty subway became a shooting set for us. A few years ago, we launched a reality show, Metro, on the first subway car, and it was a Kazakhstan project. Actually, there were no analogs of this project in the world, and at the end of 2015, we wanted to patent it and place it on the international market. The main point of the project was random people who were in a subway. It turned out to be in a quiz where they must answer questions. The winner got to the last station and had a super game. Outsiders were supposed to leave the subway car in case they failed. But a vast field of action for our hero has become the field of advertising. Victor opened his first agency in 2000 and today leads the largest company in the country. You can see different awards and acknowledgements according to our results from various organizations. I want to show you the most important one for me. It is the Kazakhstan Economy Fame Star, which was awarded to me last year in accordance with ratings among leading companies in the field of advertisement. So we received a national certificate that proves our leading position in 2014. By coming back to Victor Eliseev's day, it is now time for lunch. Now you can see my traditional lunch. Usually I have no time to go out for lunch and have to eat at the working place. My lunch includes traditional Kazakh national ingredients. It is kazi and kimiz. Actually, this lunch is my daily diet, which controls my weight for reasons undefined. Unfortunately, we have no time for lunch, so I offer to follow me to the next meeting, which will begin in 20 minutes.
В среднем в течение рабочего дня у меня возникает не менее 6-8 встреч. Большинство из них проходит...
At average, I have 6 to 8 meetings within my working day, many of them taking place in the office, but sometimes I go out for them. Now we are going to meet with my business partner, and I have totally forgotten that I must sign the book for him. But unfortunately, I haven't had that book in my office. That's why I would like to go to the nearest bookshop in order to buy it, if you don't mind.
Ближайший книжный магазин и ее приобрести, если не возражаете.
The bookshop is like a whole country for me. I do love to spend time by choosing books. Thank God we have a very large variety of books delivered to our shops, so we have what we can choose from. I'm very proud that my book, Media Grech, or Media Sin, is sold not only in Kazakhstan but in CIS countries too, as well as sold very well in Moscow. We must find a salesman and ask him to find us this book. Unusual feelings when you buy your own book in a bookshop. I hope my friend will appreciate it. Meanwhile, Victor is talking to the partner on a new direction in Kazakhstan's advertising in the subway. It should be noted that a member of the Russian Union of Writers of the 21st Century, Viktor Eliseev, today is probably the only Kazakh author who promoted the largest Russian publishing house. And 75% of the sales of the book take place outside of Kazakhstan.
Для россиян, для издательства было очень важно.
For Russian people and for a publishing house, it was very important to find some marks of the author. And when I began to discuss on this topic, they said to me, "We will believe you, and Moscow will believe you, and your book. If you find similar people like you for your presentation show, it must be celebrities." It was a very exciting moment when we invited artists, famous people, and of course, it was the first meeting with a Kazakh author. But nevertheless, many of them supported my project and came to the presentation of my book.
Данный проект и приехали на презентацию.
And finally, after the meeting, we were able to drive Victor to one of the chimney corners of our city, where we decided to drink tea and catch our breath. And at the same time, looking at the way he solves large-scale projects easily, we wonder whether it is so easy to manage everything.
Можно поделить по разным категориям. Были личные трудности, трудности преодоления, формирования собственного характера, когда
Difficulties can be divided into many classes. The difficulty in overcoming shaping of your own nature. I was a very shy guy and screwed up at work and in TV. When I went into business, I faced another difficulty which was faced by many entrepreneurs at the end of the 90s. It was shootouts, rackets of opponents. All these were like the formation of personal becoming. I can't say it was easy, but nevertheless they made me strong. Occasionally, it is the main idea of personal becoming, when you have overcame some difficulties and can talk about them, remember them within the interview.
И, видимо, в этом и заключается основная благодать формирования личности, если можно так выразиться, да, когда, пройдя определенные трудности, ты можешь о них вспоминать, вот рассказывать в рамках интервью. Это одна из
One of the brightest situations took place in Bishkek while rolling out a business there. At that time, the market had been monopolized in Kyrgyzstan and belonged to serious people. And when the boys from Kazakhstan arrived to someone else's territory, it caused quite a number of issues and threats. Why have we come? What do we want? There were threats. They threw sand into our wheels and our business. But nevertheless, as history has shown, any manipulation are temporary. Because it is only the result that reveals the effectiveness of various managers, and time is the witness of success stories.
Эффективность тех или иных управленцев, и, собственно, время является свидетелем развития истории успеха.
Today, having overcome the difficulties of the period of becoming a team, Viktor Eliseev is working on a whole range of new directions and projects.
За последние годы мы реализовали несколько популярных реалити-шоу на различных телеканалах. Также сейчас в разработке.
During last year, we launched several reality shows on different channels. Now we're working on creating youth sitcoms. Kazakhstanis love their product. Currently, we are noticing an increasing demand for Kazakh language content. I think now the Kazakh TV era is having its beginning, and it is pleasant to note that there are many good specialists in TV so far.
Радостно отмечать, что именно в этой среде находится достаточно большое количество профессионалов уже сейчас.
And at the end of our filming, before Viktor Eliseev went back to work to sum up the day, we asked him about how a businessman, producer and writer sees himself in a few years.
Считаю, что бизнес-медиа одним из самых интереснейших.
I do love what I am doing. I believe media business is one of the most interesting businesses in modern life, in modern business life on one hand. On the other hand, I can see some creative projects around me because my whole life is an attempt to marry ambitiousness and business projects. In my opinion, that creativity is just coming into business. I believe it is timely for Kazakhstan, for media, TV, and it will include creative business activity.
Думаю, что это будет какая-то околотворческая бизнес-деятельность.